Okay, very good morning. So I am Indravesh Devatia and I am going to deal with a poem of class 9 and the name of the poem is Wind. Okay, let's start with something interesting. So what do you see in my hand right now? So it's a piece of paper. Now it's an A4 size sheet. Let me do something. So what you just observed was when I blew some air from my mouth, the paper, which was weak, could not actually take the pressure of the air, the blowing air, and it fell down from my hands. Now let me repeat it, but in somewhat different manner. So it looks very natural that, when there was some support on the page, when there was some support on this weak sheet of paper, the paper stayed where it was. Now, I would also like you to find out the difference between air and wind. Is there any difference between air and wind? And the thing which I just did was that wind. Try to think about that and try to find out the answer. So, the poem which we are going to deal today is Wind, and it was written by a South Indian poet who is really famous for his pre-independence era work, and the name of this poet is Subramania Bharati. So the learning objective for the today's class would be to understand the meaning of the given poem, and the name of the same is Wind. So let's read it once, let's see what does the poet feel like and what is he saying about wind, and then we'll go for the meaning making of this poem, including the poetic devices used. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You're very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. So, come, let's build strong homes. Let's joint the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this, and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Now, this poem was actually written in Tamil by Subramania Bharati, when it was translated by a famous author A.K. Ramanujan into English. Now, let's go to the starting of the poem again, and then we'll do the meaning making. So here the tone of the poet is of pleading, is of requesting. He's actually requesting the wind to come softly. He's requesting the wind to come softly so that it doesn't cause any destruction. So what does he say? Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Because whenever wind you come, you create a lot of destruction, you break the shutters of the windows and you scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. Now, because he is a poet, so he must be having a lot of books at his house, which is quite natural. He also is requesting the wind not to obstruct and not to, also destruct the books which are kept on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. Now, there you see in the fifth line a hyphen, a long hyphen, which tells you to have a pause. So when you say there, look what you did, you need to stop for a while. And then you read it. You threw them all down. So he is actually addressing the wind directly, as if the wind is the second person. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. So finally the wind has again come, and it has, again thrown all the books from the shelf. Let's go to the second, third and fourth line again. Now, if you can see, there is a pattern here in the second, third and fourth lines. So don't break the shutters, don't scatter the papers, don't throw down the books. So these three lines are beginning with don't, don't, don't. Now this is a poetic device, which is very interesting. Now this is done to emphasize on a situation like don't. He doesn't want the wind to disturb everything and anything at his house at least. So don't. This poetic device is called anaphora. A-N-A-P-H-O-R-A, anaphora. So anaphora means when you actually repeat a certain word or a phrase in the beginning of the sentence, like continuously for 3 to 4 sentences. Let's move ahead. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. Now rain here serves as a metaphor. It serves as a symbol. Now he's telling that you tore the pages of the books. Now books can also be used as a metaphor or a symbol, because books might portray our lives. So whenever there are problems in our lives, wind itself is a metaphor, wind itself is a symbol. So wind has been compared with the problems which we face in our day-to-day lives. And books, we are the books. So tore the pages of the books. So that means, some problems which were big and we couldn't really control them. So because of that we were devastated. Because of that we had various other problems. So you brought rain again. Rain here, as you must be thinking, symbolizes tears. So problems, pains, tears, they are very much interrelated. They are intertwined together. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. So weaklings, those who are weak. So weakling can be anyone. Anyone who doesn't know how to face a problem. Anyone who doesn't know how to face a challenge, how to stand up against it. And again, if you can observe, there is anaphora. So you tore the pages of the books, you brought the rain again, you are very clever. Now the poet is repeating this word, you. You're very clever at poking fun at weaklings. So now the poet feels that, wind, you just like to have fun by poking fun at weaklings. You show them that, you cannot face me. So the poet now speaks of wind as if the wind is a snob. Now the wind is acting like very bossy. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. A lot of emphasis is on the word crumbling. Crumbling itself means when a thing breaks down into various pieces, in various small, minute pieces, crumbling. Frail, weaklings, crumbling, everything denotes that something or someone is really weak. Frail, very weak, fragile, which can break easily, which is brittle. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. Okay, before we go forward, let me take you through the meaning of rafters. I hope you are clear with the meaning of rafters. If not, so let me explain it to you. Rafters were usually used in old houses where there was a lot of wood. So it was like designed in such a way so that it provides some support to the roof. So rafters. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. So wind god, whenever he wants, with the problems, he can create a lot of problems in your life, a lot of challenges. And because of these problems, if you're not able to cope up with them, you'll have your houses crumbled, you'll have your doors crumbled, you'll see your rafters getting crumbled, crumbling wood. And he also emphasizes on crumbling bodies, that means the human bodies, and lives also. Crumbling hearts, because the hearts, they really get broken down very badly whenever there are problems, whenever there are emotional things happening. He won't do what you tell him. Now it is interesting. He won't do what you tell him. What do you think is he here? Is it the wind god, or is it the wind itself? Or is there any difference between the wind god and the wind? Interesting. He won't do what you tell him. So the wind would not do or the wind god would not do as you want him to do. The problems would not come invited to you. You cannot invite the problems. You cannot ignore them. If the problems are there, if the challenges are there, the only way to face them is to challenge them. You cannot run away from the problems. And you don't have anything, you don't have any control, any power over the wind, over the problems, over the challenges which you are going to face in your life. That's the central message of the poet. So, come, let's build strong homes. Now the tone of the poem changes, it shifts. Earlier it was about the power of the wind and how difficult it is to cope with the power of this wind, with the problems which we have. Now the tone shifts, that what can we do? So this is interesting, this is important as well. Let's see. So come, let's build strong homes. So if you have problems, if you have wind, even if you have storms, even if you have like earthquake of a problem, if your homes are strong, if you are strong, nothing can break you down, that's for sure. Let's joint the doors firmly. Now the doors of your house should be also, joined firmly. It should be firm. It should be a firm bond. It should not be fragile. It should not be weak at all. Otherwise the wind will, just take it away. Make the heart steadfast so that it doesn't get broken down easily. You'll have to be strong. There is no other option. There is no other choice. So make your heart steadfast. That's it. Do this. And the wind will be friends with us. So how can the wind, the same wind which was causing a lot of problems in our life, which was obstructing our life to, proliferate, to get very good, to just go in its own direction. So do this and the wind will be friends with us. So if you are very strong, the problems which you face, you'll take them easily. And those problems will make you a better man, a better human being, a better woman. For sure, because then you know how to face a challenge. You will learn a lot from these challenges and you will become a better human being. The wind blows out weak fires. So imagine you have a matchstick in your hand, you just burn it, okay, there is wind, so that fire would not survive for long. Because it's a very meek fire, it's a very thin fire, it's weak, so it will go off, it will get extinguished as soon as possible. While in the next line, the poet says, he makes strong fires roar and flourish. So the wind makes strong fires roar and flourish. So imagine now, I would like you to do something. So try and close your eyes for a while, and now just follow the instructions carefully. I'll take you through the guided imagery. So imagine you are sitting in the middle of the jungle and the fire is really important for you because it is keeping wild animals and all the insects away from you. Now you have a huge bonfire, you have created a huge bonfire. I hope you understand the meaning of bonfire. So all the woods, logs, they are collected in such a way that you're having a great fire which is saving you from a lot of things. Now a sudden blow of wind blows. A sudden gust of wind is there. So what would happen to the fire? Of course it won't get extinguished because it's huge fire. You have worked hard on it. But what would happen? The fire would also, flourish for a while. The fire is flourishing. The fire is moving in the direction which the wind is blowing. Isn't it? Can you imagine that? Okay, good. Open your eyes. Now, this is also the way forest fire occurs. Now because of the wind, the fire in the forests, it also goes on and goes on. So again, strong fires. So if you have strong fire, the wind would also make it roar and flourish. It would become better, it would become bigger. His friendship is good. So be friends with the problems and challenges. Be friends with the wind. You cannot avoid it. There is no option at all. We praise him every day. We praise him every day for the good qualities, for the good things, because wind is important, of course, and the problems are also important, of course. So if you have a straight path, what would you learn? So for the various things, for example, take Formula 1 racing, take Grand Prix, which is for motorbike racing, take Tour de France, which is for cycle racing. So Do you think the path is always the straight one? The roads on which they have like their races, is this straight? Not at all. So it has curves, it has various platforms, it has various obstructions, so that the drivers can be tested, and then only the best man wins it. And that is why there's a lot of prize on that. So if there are no problems, it would be easy for everyone, isn't it? So life would become really dull without problems and challenges. So you need to accept them, and the poet wants you to do the same. That's it for the day. Thank you.